So, Clinton, a lot of people have said earlier in the season when Everton were having, some difficult times that it was a long injury list. This is a side now with Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Doucouré all playing, strengthened by Van der Beek, Dele Alli as well, and yet they still look awful.
Yeah, the only one he's missing is Damari Gray, but you're right.
Who could be back this weekend,
yeah, he could be back, and then not been good enough. It's plain and simple, not good enough. For 5-10 minutes against Tottenham in the first half, they were okay. They got around and started pressing, and then after that, once you concede the first goal, they just looked like no confidence whatsoever. And you know what? Tottenham took their foot off the pedal in the second half. It could have been 7 or 8. It could have been even more, I thought. It just weren't good enough. You see the changes that Frank Lampard was making. He's thinking, I ain't losing 7, 8 or 9 because this confidence will be low. So he's taking off attacking players, putting on more defenders. And he came out, he was honest after, and he said, ain't nowhere near good enough. We need performances, like big performances. He says at home, we can't just be a team who's going to play at home, pressing at the front, in front of the goodest and faithful, who the fans always get behind them. But that away performance against Tottenham, nowhere near the standard. If they play like that, Jeff, they will get relegated. I don't think Everton will get relegated. I think there's enough still in that team to get out of trouble. These next 2 games they've got, Wolves at home, Newcastle at home, they have to win. You have to win. Because then after that, the 6 or 7 games they got after that are really tough.
Bodie, after that game as well, Frank Lampard said that nothing has surprised him since he arrived. Surely he must have been surprised by... nothing surprised him. Well, 5-0 down at Tottenham, that must have surprised him after 55 minutes.
Well, to be honest, I think the only thing that might have surprised him is that Anthony Gordon has been the best player for the last number of weeks. And that's a young boy who has obviously come through the academy and been there for a while and gets it, understands it. The rest, oh, wow, I don't know where you start. And that's us here, who we can say anything. As a manager, you need to be careful what you say, or you'll lose the players. And I think, we were all in agreement that, when Frank Lampard went in there, he would turn them around because you felt as if it was the whole Rafa Benitez thing. But maybe it wasn't actually Rafa Benitez. The players are just absolutely miles off it at this moment in time. And you've got to say the defending has been absolutely shambolic. We heard about Keane being a leader and dominant, but it's been absolutely nothing like that.
After that game, Frank Lampard revealed that Michael Keane had been struggling because he'd asked him to play when he was unwell, and it brought really an unkind response on Twitter, saying, has he been ill for the past 3 years? Which, that was a bit harsh, because he gives his heart and soul as far as Everton are concerned. There's no doubt about that. But let's talk about, home away, because the form is very different at the moment, Merce. There are away games, 4 of them are at West Ham, Liverpool, Leicester and Arsenal. They've also got Watford away. So does salvation have to come at Goodison Park if it's going to come?
100%. I'm looking at them games. I see teams at the bottom, and I still, for how bad Watford have been at times, I still think there's a wild result in Watford along the line somewhere. You reel them games off, and I don't see Everton going there and getting a result at them games. I just don't see it. I think they need 4 points out of these next 2 games. I think if they don't get the 4 points in the next 2 games, I personally think they'll be the team that go. I think they'll be the team that go. Their fixtures after this, and that means if you don't get 4 points in these 2 games, your confidence is completely gone. Then you've got no chance in the other games. I think 2 of the biggest games Everton will play for a long, long time, in my opinion, these 2 games.
They were fortunate, weren't they, as well, that Norwich and Watford, Burnley and Leeds have all lost, And there is also speculation that Everton could be subject to a points deduction. Over breaching profit and sustainability rules, I should say, over allegedly breaching profit and sustainability rules. Clubs are allowed to lose around £105 million over 3 years. That's now been extended to 4, but Everton have been losing a lot more than that. So it's just another grey cloud on the Goodison horizon.